Hi, PowerShell community, and welcome our guest today, Daniel Silva from Portugal. He's one of the 40 plus speakers of the upcoming PowerShell Conference Europe, which takes place in the beautiful country of Austria. Daniel, thank you very much for your time. Would you please introduce yourself a little bit to the community so we get a better idea of who you are and what you do?
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for the invite. My name is Daniel Silva, and I'm from Portugal, and I'm a PowerShell lover. Some of you might know me already from the previous years, the last 2 years, I think. That was my first time on a PowerShell conference, and it was the PSCONF, and I talked about PowerShell IoT and the Raspberry. But nowadays I'm more focused on the DevOps side. So the PSCONF was also a huge boost for me to get confidence and try to explore more. And today I'm doing what I like most, which is automate.
But you still can work with PowerShell and use PowerShell in your daily business?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, okay, great. So let's talk about your sessions at the PowerShell conference. I saw on the schedule you have 2 sessions. So one is manage and automate Azure DevOps through PowerShell. And the other one is using PowerShell Universal and dbatools to automate database tasks. So would you explain a little bit about your sessions and why should the attendees see your sessions and yeah.
Okay, so as for the first one, automating the Azure DevOps with PowerShell, that comes down to what I'm doing usually nowadays. So you asked before if I'm using PowerShell on my current work, and yes, I've automated a lot of tasks using PowerShell. I found a module called VS Team, which is basically a wrapper around the Azure DevOps API, but allows me to quickly create sprints, manage teams, create iterations, automatically create backlog items, link backlog items when a pull request is completed. And I've managed to work all of that around also the Azure pipelines. So just to give you a quick example why this is so interesting. On my work nowadays, we have a whole workflow with Azure pipelines where when someone does run the pipeline, after it goes into production, we automatically create a pull request to the repo, and that's done through PowerShell, through this module. And I also have other things such as automatically send emails, notify the teams and the stakeholders. So yeah, that's a lot of possibilities, and that one is the one that I'm closest to because it's what I usually use on my daily basis. As for the second session, it actually comes down to two of the things that I love about PowerShell, and they both got me into PowerShell actually, which are dbatools module and the PowerShell Universal. So I use dbatools to automate some of my tasks on my previous job, where I worked more as a developer. And I also used PowerShell Universal just for the pretty dashboards. And one of the sessions that I did at PSCONF also worked with PowerShell Universal. It was not PowerShell Universal at the time. I think it was called PowerShell Dashboards or something like that.
Okay.
In the meantime, it evolved. And I tried to combine both of them into one session where I essentially, my goal is to show you how can you from one single view or one website, which is powered by the PowerShell Universal, you can do things such as run scripts, run jobs, schedule tasks, maintenance tasks, get a overall status of how is your database status, how are your disks, are your disks full, get notified if something is about to happen. So it's try to leverage both modules and try to create a real world scenario of what you can use with that.
Okay, so you're talking PowerShell Universal from Adam Driscoll?
Yes.
Okay, I will have a talk in about 2 hours with him. So he will also be a speaker at the PSCONF.
Yeah, I'm really glad he will be. Because the last session when I was at the PSCONF, I tried to reach out to him. He was really helpful. He didn't know me at all. And we scheduled a Skype meeting in like 10 minutes. We talked about 2 hours. he reviewed my whole session, helped me manage some points, and I was really sad that he wasn't able to attend to PSCONF. So this year I'll have to buy him some drinks.
So you have to buy him some beers. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I saw you also love automation. So what was the coolest process or workflow, maybe beside your work, you have automated so far? Or maybe something special?
Something special.
Of course, with PowerShell.
It's mostly done with work related. But one of the cool things that I've done, it's not actually an automation, but it was something that I was amazed by, which was being able to control LED strips with PowerShell. So this is something that I've done on the previous sessions. And the simple fact that I was able to send a command, a native PowerShell command, obviously it was wrapped around C# code, but it was commandlet. And with that, I was able to send LED strip to power on and off. And then I automated that to when someone walked by, I got a notification through both on my laptop using the Toast module, and the LED strip would also blink and do some crazy color stuff.
Have you used the Philips Hue lights or something else?
No, it was the standard, the WS2812B.
Okay.
I saw people that were able to use that, but they interacted with the API, not with the chipset itself.
Okay, understand. So the PowerShell conference will take place in Austria. Have you ever been in Austria before?
Nope, that's something that I really want to.
Okay,
and
yeah.
No, I was going to say, finally going to be able to combine both things, which is travel, which I love, and also talk to people.
Okay, travel again, hope so.
Hopefully.
Yeah, okay. So what is typical for you if you think about Austria? What comes in your mind?
I was not prepared for that question.
That's the idea behind. We have some questions.
But I think that's, from what I know, the views are simply beautiful, stunning.
Yeah.
And I've also heard cool good things about the people. People are careful and thoughtful and are really nice to you. So that's what I'm expecting to find, and also good food.
Of course, good food and some good beer as well.
Yeah,
so
also
you can look forward to this. Will you stay longer in Vienna, or just for the conference and fly back, or what are your plans?
I'm still planning that. Hopefully, I'll be able to go with my girlfriend. So we expect to be for the conference, and then a couple of days just to enjoy the sights.
Sounds good. Cool. One last, maybe fun question. I saw in your description that you love automation, also because you are lazy, so we have something in common.
Yeah.
And that you worked with the Raspberry Pi. That leads me to that you maybe do some home automation.
Yes.
Okay, so what have you done? What have you automated at home? So maybe beside of PowerShell, but what have you done automating at home?
It's not directly related with the Raspberry Pi anymore, but I'm using Home Assistant. I started with a small Raspberry Pi, and now I'm using a full VM for that. But I have automations from when my washing machine finishes, it notifies me. My mobile, both my mobile, my TV, if it's on, and a Google speaker.
Yeah.
When we get home, if it's past 8 p.m., the lights automatically turn on when I open the door. When I'm not at home, if the door is open, I get a notification. So I have a couple of automations.
Sounds cool. So maybe we need to talk about a little bit deeper in when we meet in Austria, because I also love home automation. And and I did I bought a wash dryer a few days ago, and my main feature was, so the girlfriend just asked what should we buy and so on, but my main feature was it should need an API. Everything else is useless. So that's the main reason for this. Okay, the last question for today. What is your favorite PowerShell commandlet, or your favorite PowerShell module?
Favorite PowerShell command-led. I think I talked about it somewhere, not sure where, but it's definitely the get help.
Okay, yeah.
It's the way that I learned PowerShell. Although I come from a C# background, but the way I learned PowerShell, even today, it's usually through get help and get command.
Okay.
Both are so powerful, and I think they are underestimated.
Definitely.
The simple fact that you can do get help, the name of the command, and minus online or minus full to get the examples, it's really powerful. As for the module, the one that I like the most, it's hard to tell because I have different points. So I'll kind of dodge your question, but the favorite one, and I'm a little bit biased, but it's the PowerShell, the IoT one, which is the one that I collaborated with, or two in this case, and allowed me to learn more about PowerShell and the IoT stuff. So that's one that is obviously on the top three. The PowerShell Universal, because dashboards and the power that you can have without knowing HTML and JavaScript and nothing like that, I can build pages.
Okay.
And the most useful for me, it's between the VS team that I found recently for my job and the dbatools. The whole work. The dbatools is more because of the community. And because I don't usually work with DBA tasks, or I don't usually work with databases, but it's more like support the community and the whole concept that it's behind it. And I've seen the team grow a lot. So yeah, I think I dodged your question, but I have a reason for that.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Daniel, thank you very much for your time. Any last words to the community?
I hope to see everyone there safe and sound, and let's have some fun.
Okay, so let's have some fun in Austria. Okay, Daniel, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully to see you and looking forward to meet you in Vienna in June. Bye-bye.
Thank you.